Hello, this video is in our Engine Snack series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler. Well, although the TCEC doesn't always feature super theoretical openings, it does feature a lot of typical structures, and it's always fascinating to see how engines handle them. Now, in this typical Maroczy bind structure against the Hedgehog, I've always favoured a plan with a4 to a5 to attack the queen side. However, Stash comes up with a plan that I first saw in an excellent book by the Chilean GM Mauricio Rios, and that involves a very quick b4 to b5, which is not an obvious plan at all. So you get two typical ways to meet the Hedgehog system in one video, and it's only 5 minutes. Worth a watch, I think. So we start off with my plan with a4. This is taken from a game against the Welsh player Ian Rees in the 4NCL. Rees's position after move 10. Now we see a lot of Maroczy binds with the bishop fianchettoed. This structure in principle for white should be even better, really, because the pawn on e4 is protected by the pawn on f3. This frees the bishop, the light squared bishop, to do something rather than protecting this pawn. And actually the bishop's pointing towards the queen side, so it actually assists in any play that that white creates there, as well as preventing the move b4 to b5. And I always like to play this move a4, queen c7, queen d2, knight bd7, rook c1, rook d8, just get out of the way of the rook on d8, and after rook c8 I go a5. And the key point is to meet b takes a5 with knight b3. And then this knight is going to come into a5, like this. And then afterwards I'm going to try and get in the move b4. I mean, I had a very strong position in this game, but this was a weekend at the 4NCL where I really played extremely dodgily, not taking away anything from my opponent's play, but I lost control completely of this game and just ended up drawing it. But still, a very promising position from the opening. Moving to Stash's game against Sifos from the recent TCEC Swiss, Stash played a very interesting move. Now, I'm not really convinced by Stash's move order, but the plan was interesting. Stash went b4 straight away, knight bd7, rook c1, castles, rook c8, queen d2, queen c7, bishop f2, just getting the pieces out of the way like this, queen b8, a3, a slightly slow move, knight e5, but now Stash went for it. Knight a4, bishop d8, and b5. It's a very nice move indeed. I mean, if you play a6 to a5, well, obviously this pawn on b6 is a permanent weakness, and well, AlphaZero style, you might even get a future c4 to c5 to weaken the a5 pawn. If you don't know what I mean by that, take a look at the video that I did on Lila's game against Defense Chess earlier in the TCEC Swiss, and then I think you'll get exactly what I mean. So knight ed7 was played, and then the idea is to take, queen b4, and then you're going to get the knight onto b5 eventually. Stash took its time, but here we are. And this is a very pleasant situation for white. Knight on b5, attacking the pawn on d6. The pawn on b6 is weak, attacked by the knight on a4, bishop f2. And yeah, I mean, all of black's breaks. Well, b5 is never going to happen, and d5 is also pretty tough to achieve. So Stash didn't manage to win this. The game was a draw, but I mean, really, there was only I think there was really only one player that had a chance to win it, and that was white. So there we are. I mean, I hope that gives you a nice little overview of typical plans in the Maroczy bind structure against the Hedgehog. Thanks very much for watching.